Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Sound Mind. My name is Brian Collier and I'm so excited that you are here watching with us again. Listen, we do not take it for granted that you come and hang out with us on Thursdays and Mondays to see what's going on here at Sound Mind. I hope that this has been a segment that has helped you through not just the pandemic, but even post-pandemic, going back into what we think is the normacy of life. So right now, can you share it with like 3 or 5 people? I ask you this every week. Make sure you're sharing it with somebody. This is a conversation that they don't want to miss. We're going to talk about where we are in life in this middle summer season, and you don't want to miss it. To our executive producer, Dr. E. Smith, thank you for the opportunity to have a conversation, not just about Jesus, but about Jesus and our mental, emotional health. It's been definitely beneficial, and I thank you for this opportunity. And to those behind the scenes, thank you so much for the graphics, for the editing that you do, for even the recording right now, our team. Thank you so much. You mean the world to us, and I appreciate you. So let's get in it. Let's bring on my co-host, Teresa Pryor. I know you love her. I love her too. Hey, Teresa.
Hey there, everybody. Oh, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's so good to be a part. Can you believe it's our last season? Our last episode?
It is, and I'm just
I
floored
know.
at how
I know.
time is just still going by so fast, Teresa.
Right,
It's going by
right,
so
right, right,
fast.
right. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And I'm just, we're in a different space. I don't think we've ever been in this space before. And
Hmm.
trying to find out what our new normal is
Hmm.
is a task in itself. And so we're going to help
Mm.
our listeners and our viewers today understand and how to stay sound even in trying to figure
Yeah,
this out, because
yeah.
that could bring anxiety in itself. So I'm looking forward to
Well,
this segment. Like we said, tell your people, log on because you don't want to miss this one.
you don't want to miss this one. Well, Teresa just really kicked us off. So we are in the end of June, pretty much the end of June, the middle of summer, and where you should normally be taking a vacation and relaxing and slowing life down. Really, there's this anxiety of the countdown of fall getting here and August getting here and life starting back up in the busy season again. Because once you get to August, you get into Labor Day weekend, season starts changing, you're going into
Yeah.
holiday season, and then we're going to be talking about 2022 in a few months. Like
Yeah.
calendars are
Yeah.
going to start coming
Yeah.
out for
Yeah.
2022. And some of us are still processing 2020. So that's what we've come to talk about. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Like
Yeah.
wrapping up this first half of the year and just processing. And I'll start with just being honest, Teresa. I am not ready. I am just not ready. How are you feeling right
I
now?
feel like, let me tell you what I feel like though. It was so weird. It's so weird that you say that because this morning when I woke up, I just kept saying, I feel like things are like still kind of moving, but I'm not a part of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just seems like we're switching and we're moving and we're turning, and I'm trying
Mm-hmm,
to find my rhythm in it.
mm-hmm,
And so that's
mm-hmm,
how I know that that can bring anxiety to people because,
mm-hmm,
like I said, we have a new norm that we're having to
mm-hmm,
create. Well, it's been actually been created for us. And that I think is the issue,
mm-hmm.
trying to get your footing into this new norm and how do
Yeah.
you work it in this new norm? Because the
Mm-hmm,
new norm was thrust upon us.
mm-hmm,
It's not even something that we
mm-hmm,
necessarily were looking to do or change. So
mm-hmm,
how do I, find my rhythm? And I realized this morning my rhythm is off. And
Woo.
so I'm certain that me and others are dealing with the same
Mm-hmm,
thing. And your rhythm being off, but now you're trying to get back to things that you used to do, but you don't really know how to do that. You skip to fall, but we still got to get through summer. And so beaches are opening up and people are wanting to vacation, but they're still a little anxious about vacationing. But they want
Mhm.
to do it because they've been
Yeah.
locked up for so long and couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
just trying to
Yeah.
find that rhythm, I think, is the thing
Mhm.
that we have to be careful about, and we don't necessarily become over anxious about how to do that, because but you got to figure
Absolutely.
it out. But we still have to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I
Absolutely.
am in a nutshell.
I I love the visual that you gave, because what it reminded me is before COVID happened, we all had a moment where we would be on autopilot. Like when life got
Yep.
overwhelming, we still did it, but it was normal. So we were checked
Yep.
out, but we were able to still kind of feel like we weren't
Yeah.
overwhelmed. Now
Yeah.
we are checked out and overwhelmed, and we can't get our, it's like driving on ice. It's hard to get your grip again,
Yeah.
and that's where
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
it's like a overwhelming slippery slope that I'm on. And here's the thing: life is still moving. Like
It
life
is.
has not stopped.
It is.
And
It is.
really, what I want to go back to March where we shut down. If I, ooh, this is good. And I
I
don't
know what
mean
you mean.
to say this with any insensitivity, but if we
Mm-hmm.
could go back to full shutdown, with nobody dying, of course, but the full shutdown for
Sure.
3 months, I would appreciate it more now than I did when it first happened.
Whew.
I
Whew.
don't think I was a wise
Phew.
steward of the shutdown.
Phew. Yeah. Well, here's the question. Did you shut down?
Mm,
That's the
mm,
question. Now, some people can really say their lives stopped. They couldn't do
mhm,
what they normally do, um,
mhm,
daily and traveling. And some of your
mhm,
life probably did, but
mhm.
um, did it really? Did we shut down? I mean, did we
My
really?
anxiety didn't. My anxiety
Right,
didn't.
right,
And
right. Because
that's the
see,
part that's
yeah,
so crazy.
yeah, yeah. Because see, you are back then. We were in crisis,
Mhm,
so we were still mentally trying to figure out how do we do it, how do we go, how we gonna do this, how we gonna catch this, so anxiety level is still up. And so
mhm,
now that everything is, kind of falling off now we got to figure how to do. I mean, we still, it's like this never
mhm,
ending. How do you, and it's just something that we have to learn to embrace, but not necessarily embrace the anxiety that goes along with it. Um,
mhm.
because it's life. It's the things that happen. It's life.
Is it really better to buy than to rent?
Every situation is different. There's benefits to both. It just really depends upon where you are in your life, where you are with your finances.
You need to be able to speak to that loan officer about things so that they don't get any surprises.
Make sure that we understand your expectations and we also set expectations so we all are on the same page.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
What's up, Pasta Folk? It's the Flavor King. Today what we got in store, we're gonna be cooking up some roasted chicken, some Brussels sprouts, and a fresh fruit salad with a honey lime drizzle. Y'all ready? Let's cook.
I feel like you were about to say something and you held back from us. I feel like you were about to touch something. Teresa, this is the place where we talk about it. Take us there. We are ready. This is what.
No. I did no. I just. Why are you?
So what are you planning to do? What are you planning to do to honor some moments to just pause and enjoy this time of vacation or this slower season? Is it a slower season? I don't. Tell me what's going on.
Well, here's the thing. Transparency. So,
Mhm.
Everybody was saying in the pandemic, we needed to take the time to try to figure and, dig deeper and maybe
Mhm.
create some new
Mhm.
things and do some that made me anxious. The
Yeah.
anxiety of that made
Mhm.
me, and I'm doing that, but in doing that, now that life comes back, it means some of that I can't do anymore for me. Now
Mhm.
everybody's testimony is not the same. So anxiety
Mhm.
comes up because now I may have to put some of those things down that I really enjoy doing. Or do I?
Mhm.
Or
Mm.
how do I? And it's
Mm.
that sometimes brings on anxiety of people trying to figure out, I've learned that I like to do such and such and such. But now
Mhm.
I got to start going back
Mhm.
in the office.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
how now do I still incorporate that thing that I learned that I like to do
Mhm.
and go
Mhm.
back into the office
Mhm.
every day? Because I like
Mhm.
doing that thing and that thing brought me some solace and some peace. And now I got to go back to
Mhm.
the rat race. Well, I was still doing my job, sitting at home
Right.
on the computer and those
Right.
types of things. But
Right.
now having to merge those things together sometimes can bring anxiety to people. And so
Yeah.
you asked me a question that I have not answered yet because I don't have one.
Well, you actually answered it because you helped me. You really just pointed out the importance, and I really need someone to pay attention and listen to that. You've got to take the moments for yourself because no one will give you those moments. Like,
There you go.
even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's all you get is an hour, because I'm going to tell you, Saturday and Sunday goes quicker than a 15-minute break at work. Like that
So true.
Saturday and Sunday is like it's gone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So true.
you sleep on
So true.
Friday to prepare for Saturday, and Sunday you're preparing to start back again. I really wish the Biden administration would pass a bill so that we could work for 4 days a week and be off for 3. Add another day to that weekend, like that's
Oh, that's so
important.
funny. That's so
But
funny.
you got to
That's funny.
take
But
it
you
where
know
you
what?
can.
My
Mhm.
therapist that I love used to tell me, and she called it this, not trying to be funny, but she said, right, don't forget, she said, take your smoke breaks. Now, I don't
Mm.
smoke, but here's what she was saying to me. She said, people who smoke, they gonna take their break. They gonna get up. It doesn't matter what's going on. They gonna go out there and they gonna make sure they take their smoke break. And what she was saying was have that same mindset of
Yeah.
nothing is going to stop me from taking my break. Whatever
Mhm.
break it
Mhm.
is, whatever break you need, though smokers just have this, I got to go. They'll
Mhm.
be outside in the two-degree weather
Yeah.
with a sweater on, taking a smoke
Taking a
because
break.
it's
Taking a
important,
break.
because that's important to them. And it's something that they feel they need. Now, I'm not advocating smoking, but I'm just saying It's the whole idea of ensuring you stop and make time to take a break.
Whew. Stop and make time to take a break. You have to intentionally plan to take a break.
Right.
And I think that's the part that
That's
we
right.
don't like process. I'm sure some of our viewers have seen this season. We have not we normally have a new episode every week, but part of that has been for our mental health. We've just had to make a decision some weeks and say, hey, it's too much on our plate.
Right.
Teresa and I
Right.
laugh and joke about the plate that we all have, and a lot of our plates are filled with entrees, mine included.
Yeah.
I have to accept that, mine included. But I just have a whole lot of entree. I will never be able to savor one entree because I
Yeah.
have multiple on my plate. I got multiple
So
just meals.
I'm gonna take that analogy and I'm gonna use something for the sake of our listeners and for you. So
Okay.
Brian and I, and this is transparency. I'm gonna let y'all into something that we do. We take some time sometimes to do business meetings, and we have a favorite
Mhm,
spot that we like to go
mhm,
to do that meeting.
mhm.
And when we go, Brian orders something that is delicious. I'm not gonna put it all out there, but it's delicious. And it's not something that I eat on a regular, but it's something that he likes. And so I
Mhm,
always just get a piece off of his plate. But when I tell you that the way, the joy that is brought to him from eating this meal is unbelievable. You would think somebody has given Bryant $1 million. He is just like,
Ah,
ooh, oh, I mean, he just savors, and I'm using the words you just used because you
yeah.
savor that moment and we
Mhm,
sit in it for a moment. And it really gives
mhm,
us the picture of what we have to do sometimes. We just have to
mhm,
stop,
mhm,
take a moment, get what we like, and just sit in it and
mhm,
savor that moment in order for us to rejuvenate enough for us to do the next thing that we need to do. And so a lot of
mhm,
times when we
mhm.
leave our spot, we're good. Now
We're
we still
good.
got to
We
come
can
out
fight
into the
another
world.
day.
Yeah, and we still have to, do what we got to do. But what it does is it revives us, it rejuvenates us. It kind of, gives us this push that we need. But it's only because we
Yeah,
just took a moment. It's not long.
yeah.
It's not a long time.
Mm-mm.
A good hour.
It's not.
We sit
It's not.
and we
Yeah.
savor and so I hope my prayer is that what people have done during this time is identify some things that they do like
Mhm,
so that you can take those moments to do some of the things that you do like. You might not be able to do them on a regular all the time like you
mhm.
want to, but you would be able to to stop periodically and do those things that you like.
It's interesting that you say that, and she's totally right. When we go on those business lunches, like I will be honest with y'all, I forget that the outside world exists until I have to walk out that front door, and I'm like, oh, we got to go back to this? This is ghetto. Like, why? Why do I have to go back to life after this? Can I just live in this restaurant? Um,
Yeah,
but
that's exactly
even for
right.
the fast-paced work we do, and if you don't know by now, Teresa and I work together. She's my boss. But if you know anything,
Name only.
for the high-paced work we do, there's something I've learned to love. I love TikTok. And I know this sounds crazy, but there are moments I will go and sit for 15 minutes and take my smoke break, not smoking, but on TikTok. Like,
That's right.
and it
That's
gets
right.
me away from the rest of the world in my current life. And let me say this to someone out here. I know that we live in a culture of it's the grind and you got to be on your grind
Hmm.
and you got to push
Hmm.
your business.
That's right.
But there is only so much capacity we have emotionally
That's
a
right.
day. Only
That's
so
right.
much
That's right.
give we have a day. And the way I like to look at it is that if you are not careful about filtering your emotions, what you pour out will be contaminated. What you pour into other people will be contaminated. So you just worked a full day and you got off and you've got to go into parent mode. Well, what did you do on that drive to pick them up? Or what did you do on that time? Like, you had 30 minutes. Did you answer the phone every time it rung? Were you trying to handle up? Take 30 minutes. And I'm going to say this, Teresa, and I don't want to say it too. I don't want to get in trouble. But let me tell you, they will roll you in a casket and keep moving life on after you're gone.
That's right. That's right.
You can stress yourself out all you want. If you lose your mind, they will pick up and keep moving in the next moment. You've got to take a moment for you.
That's right. That's right.
Every single day. You deserve, and I'm not talking about when you're sleeping. Sometimes I spend an extra 10 minutes in the shower just staring at the wall because I need a moment before I'm close to my phone.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
A lot of times the best students don't make the best financial decisions. We work with a lot of medical residents. Typically, if we don't catch them in residency and we catch them after they've been in position for a couple of years, we find them that they've made a lot of bad financial decisions. On the flip side of that, we've seen that a lot of our entrepreneurs, they weren't necessarily the best students in school because they were more focused on trying to have a much broader knowledge base.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We are talking about pioneer women and women who are blazing the path for all of us.
I started this campaign with a prayer and a plan, and I just worked that plan. God saw fit to predestine me for this position. I'm honored that the community, they listened to what I had to say, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be a pioneer.
That's right.
And we're so connected with the Apple Watches and the AirPods and the notifications on our screen, on our phone. Like, and I'm not talking to any Android or Samsung users. I don't know what you use out there. I'm just playing. I love you. Please keep watching. I'm so sorry. So sorry. But you know, like, for real, like, I have had to learn in my 30s to be unplugged. I have to unplug. In my 30s, y'all.
Yeah.
In my 30s.
Let me say, I'm happy that you're learning that in your 30s. And that you don't wait until your 50s or your 60s to understand how important it is to unplug. So I will take you learning that in your 30s, because that's something that sometimes we don't learn until later in life. And sometimes it's too late because we learn it because our body breaks down, or we get, you know, something happens, some drastic happens. And so I appreciate that you're learning that now at a young age.
You just said something that triggered a thought, Teresa. This is good. How much more life would we have had or have in the future if we would just take an hour a day for ourselves?
Yeah.
Just the quality of life. The quality of life. And I think that's the conversation we don't have a lot. What is the quality of life for you?
Because
not
we're so
how
busy
successful
in
you are.
Yeah, we're so busy.
Come on, Teresa.
And doing and staying busy and moving. Because moving means we're doing something, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Moving
Mm-mm.
moving means you about to lay yourself out in front of somebody. That's what it really means.
What
But
does it
we
profit a
gotta
man
start looking at, say it. What does the word say? What does
to
the word
gain the
say?
whole world and
And
lose his
lose what?
soul? His
Okay,
soul,
okay,
his
okay.
life, his being.
That's right.
We
That's
are
right.
in such
That's
a
right.
workplace. There are some CEOs of companies that have not stopped since COVID. They are working more in COVID to stay busy. And it worries me because one day their body is going to give out, their mind is going to give out, but they feel the burden of going and keeping things going. And I don't know what it's like to be CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation, to have people's livelihoods on your back. But I do know that's a big pressure to have. And if you are not resting, and I know we're talking about a CEO of a company, but what about you as a mother? What about you as a guardian? What about you as an educator, as a teacher, as a supervisor, as a friend? We have responsibilities in our world, and we've got to take a moment to just pause. I need Dr. Shahar here. That's who I need. I need Dr. Shahar to tell us
to teach us to breathe, because we gotta
to breathe
We need
again.
to just breathe. But the thing is, here's the thing, and this is what we have to be careful about, because I've noticed this about myself. When we were in person,
Mhm.
and you did meetings, you had to give yourself the time to get there, do the meeting, and come back. Now you can't even, the Zoom calls are right behind each other. You don't have to give yourself that space anymore. So now I feel like I'm doing more meetings than I did when we were in person. I can have a 10, a 9, a 10, an 11, a 12:30, and realize at 2 o'clock that I have not moved from my seat because I've been
I
in meetings
haven't
all
eaten
day.
at
Virtual
7
meetings.
o'clock. I haven't eaten at 7 o'clock
Exactly.
p.m. at night. My
Exactly.
first meal of the day is at 7 p.m.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
not
Exactly.
healthy.
Exactly. 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 So we
Or I've
got to.
snacked
This is the
for 12
right,
hours.
right. I get it. I do get it. I do
Or I've
understand.
snacked for
Which is
12
not
hours.
healthy. Yeah, which
It's
is
not
not
healthy
healthy.
either.
And so we're not
Mhm.
moving. And so that, I think that too.
Yeah.
And as I said it, I get it. We've got to start moving again, physically. Physically, not just taking a break. I'm talking to myself, but we got to start moving physically again, because what that also did was it kept us from doing some things. To exercise at home or whatever, but we got to get out there and start moving outside and getting back outside and doing those things, because we got to start moving physically. It's not good for us to sit in a chair for 8 hours. It isn't. But it's what some of us have learned to do, and so we just got to find our rhythm. We got to find what works, and how our new rhythm, because that's really what it is.
Well, as always, y'all, our time just wraps up really fast here, and I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. Teresa, can you give our audience members, our family, our SoundMind family, can you just give them some final words of departure as we take this,
Absolutely.
as we wrap it up?
Absolutely. Listen, we have gone through a lot in this last year and a half, and my admonition to everyone is, as Dr. Shahara would say, just breathe again. Take some time, but not only breathe again, we also want you to just take some time to relax. Relax.
That's good.
Because we've been we've been tight, anxious, not knowing what's going on. I think we're at a point now, guys, where we really can relax. Find your peace in God. He has a peace that surpasses all understanding. Now, I'm not going to leave without telling you that. But also, relax. Find you some ways really to relax. I know we've been I know some things have changed, but what we want to do is find a way just to simply relax. I hope you've found some things you like, some things you enjoy. Find some time to do those things. You deserve it. It's been a lot. We've been through a lot. The Lord has kept
Mhm.
us through a lot. And so now we just need to we all need to just kind of sit back, relax, and think on the goodness of the Lord.
That's good, Teresa. That's real good. Y'all heard that? And she meant to say this too, because I heard it coming. You need a therapist if you haven't gotten one yet. Go get you a therapist.
Listen,
I'm
y'all know
telling you,
that's what I
it's
say
the
all the
best
time.
thing.
Therapy. This is my sign, just in case y'all don't know. This is me and my sign. Therapy. Therapy. That's what I'm you're gonna see me walking down the street, and that's what I'll be saying. We love y'all. We love y'all so much.
The last thing I want to share, I'm going to share a transparent moment. This is really going to show about transparency, just letting you all into what it's like, even in our worlds. But in 2020, I started some affirmations. I'm supposed to say them every morning. I don't say it, but I've started back doing it. And I want to share an insert of something I've added to my affirmations every morning that has really been helping me. It says, my mind is intact and God is my shield. All is well, no matter what happens. Whatever happens is allowed, therefore I am protected and well. Peace is my portion mentally. Peace is my portion emotionally. Peace is my portion financially. Peace is my portion spiritually. Every connection in my day was and is planned and ordained by God. I have to say that because that's my moment a day. I pause at the beginning of my day. I try to do it before I touch my phone, to look at social media. I try to take a moment to say, peace is in your day, Brian.
That's right.
Right. And if you've got nothing else from us today, take some time for you. Dr. Shahara said 5 minutes in the morning can change the course of your day. Day. And if you're like, I'm on the hustle and bustle, I'm always moving, that car ride, don't talk on the phone. In the grocery store, zone out, have you a moment, like find something. I go to Chick-fil-A and we'll go get a junior cup of ice cream for $1.25. Not right now because I'm dieting, but I will go get me a junior and I will go sit in the parking lot and eat my little cup of ice cream for 10 minutes. And that's enough for me to just reset whatever frustrations you have. Sound Mind family, thank you so much for being a part of this journey and for being a part of this experience. We love you and we can't wait to see you again. Take a moment for yourself. And until next time, take care and remember to keep a sound mind.
A sound mind.
Bye, everybody.